what you'd like to do. We are recording this session, just to let you know, because we would like to post it for others who weren't able to attend. If you would like to chat and ask questions in the chat box, you're more than welcome to do it that way. Erin's going to do the Google Classroom, like the tutorial, and as she does it, she's going to pause, and that's your time to ask questions. If you would rather not unmute your microphone and you'd like to do it in the chat box, I will monitor that, and then at those times ask her the questions. Am I missing anything else? If you want to raise your hand, you can do that as well. Now, if you're on an iPad, you're going to notice you're going to see a side view of me because I'm going from my iPad to my laptop, just so you know. If you're on an iPad, when you tap on the screen, your toolbar is actually at the top. And you can put up a thumbs up as well on the right-hand side when you hit the 3 dots. If you'd like, or you could raise your hand, I mean, if you'd like to raise your hand and you have a question, and then when it's time, when Erin gives that break, we will let you ask that question. Yeah, am I missing anything, Erin?
I don't think so. Any questions about Zoom before we get started? No? Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen now then. Okay, so now you can see that I am in my browser just on the Google main page. And over here you can see that I am already signed in. So first you need to sign in to Google. If you don't remember your password, you'll have to contact your IT person to get your password. Okay, so you push this waffle thing and you can see all your Google apps, and you would select Classroom, and you can move these around, so you can bring Classroom up to the top if you want to have it easily accessible. So you open Classroom, and then this is what you'll see. These are the classes that I've already made before. So you see all your classes that you have. To make a new class, you click on the plus sign here, and then you select Create. And you would put your class name in. I'm going to call this Webinar 2. You can put a subject, or, well, you wouldn't need a room number now, but you can put a subject in there if you want. I'm just going to create. Takes a few seconds for it to create the class. Okay, and then this is what you will see. Right now you're in stream mode. You can see the name that you gave your class, and you can see the class code here, which I'll explain in a minute. You can change the theme if you want to, or upload your own photo. So if you click that, you'll see different themes that Google has. You can check different ones. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so now the next thing you would want to do is go over to People. And this is where you can add other teachers and you can add students. So I'm going to add Aileen. So if I add her as a teacher, she has the same access I do. Now she's going to have to accept the invitation, because right now it's grayed out because she hasn't accepted it yet. If I wanted to remove her, I would click on these 3 dots and I can remove her, or I can email her from there.
And I get an email as well as a notification through Google Classroom, okay? As a teacher and as a student once I've been added.
Mm-hmm. So it's the same process for adding students. You click there and you can type in their Gaphy emails. And the nice thing about this though is that they're already all in there. So once you start typing, you'll see, so I'm going to see all the Shannons, and I can just select one to invite them. So you would have to do this for each student to do it this way. And then they would have to check their Gaphy email and accept your invitation or see the notification. The other thing that you could do would be to send this code out to them somehow. So maybe you're emailing them to get them started, or depends on how you're contacting them right now before you start. So you can send this code, and then they can use the code to join your class. So those are the two options for that. Maybe we'll just see if there are any questions before I go on.
There's none in the chat box yet, Erin.
Okay. Okay, I was just going to add Shannon so you can see that she can end up down there. She's grayed out until she accepts it. And then I'm going to go back to the stream. So this is kind of the first page everybody sees when they come into the classroom. You can post notifications here. So you could say, welcome class. You can add an attachment. And then the students in your class, they can comment down here. They can also, the way the settings are right now, they can post themselves in here. If you wanted to change that, you would go up to the gearbox for settings. Scroll down here, you could change the name if you didn't like the name that you gave it the first time. You can see your class code. And then here is the stream. In here, you can change this so that they can post and comment. They can only comment. So if you wanted that one, they can only comment on something that one of the teachers posts. Or if you click this one, they won't have any access. They can only read what's in the stream. They can't comment or post. Right now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then I'm going to X out of there. Okay, so now I'm back in here.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add, we had watched some videos in terms of the distance learning. This might be a good option for you to have open for your students to post and share as like a community building part. You could do it all in this if you want.
And if you found that somebody wasn't using it appropriately, you can turn it off for just them later. So that is an option too. Okay, now here's the part where we make assignments. You have to go to the classwork view. Right now there aren't any assignments. So I'm going to create one here. I push create. I push assignment. And then I give it a name. And then some instructions. You probably want these to be fairly detailed because you're not explaining it in a classroom. So I have a video for this, so I'm going to say watch the video. And then I'm going to say read the assignment, do the practice questions, and submit them to me. Okay, so those are the students' instructions. Then we can, now I can add attachments. So from here, I can add something from my Drive. I can link out to another website. I can add a file. I can add a YouTube video. Now I see some chat, so maybe I'll take a pause to see if there are questions about that before I go on.
So Angela, can you unmute and explain your problem?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a couple of days now, I've had an issue where I click on the box where it says to post, and when I click on it, my little icon picture disappears and it's just a blank box and it won't let me post anything.
In your stream, you're saying?
Just as my like, hi guys, how are you? Like I can't even post that.
Okay.
That might be something that maybe at the end we can look at that.
I even downloaded Chrome because I thought that maybe I needed that on my Mac.
Yeah.
So I've downloaded that, but it's still not working.
Okay.
Now, having said that, if I go to my iPad, it does work on my iPad. I just don't like the layout on my iPad compared to the one on my laptop.
Yes. Okay, we'll try and problem solve that, and like Erin said, go back to it at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, at the end, then you can stay on and share your screen with us so we can see what's happening and see if we can
No
help you.
problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So for this, I was going to put a YouTube video with it. So I forgot actually to keep the video I wanted up here, so I'm just going to look for one. All right, so say this is the video that I had already watched and I liked it, so I can now copy the link.
Making equivalent
sorry.
fractions.
Copy the link and push YouTube. And then in this box, I would paste the link, click the magnifying glass, and it shows up here. I need to select it and then click add. And then the video goes in here. You could also take a video, if you had a video in your drive, you could take a video from there as well. So I've got my video in there now, and then I have some assignments on equivalent fractions that I've prepared already. So usually you would see your recent stuff in the top here, but I'm not seeing mine there, so I can search for my assignment, and then I can see equivalent fractions lesson 1. It's an assignment I made. Now, here's a really important thing that you need to do. So right now, if I leave it like this, my students can only look at this file. They can't do anything to it. If I want my students to be able to write in the file, I have to make a copy for each student. If I select can edit file, then they will all be working in the same document. So that is, unless you want them collaborating, you don't want to use that one because they start overwriting each other. This is the one that you need to select. Make a copy for each student, and then Google automatically will send a copy of the document to each student that they can then do their work in and return to you for assessment of some sort, formative or grading assessment. So that's there now. And if I had something else, if I had another assignment in here, I could put that in too. So I had another one here that I'm going to attach, and I want to do the same thing there. So those are all the documents that I want to put in the video with this particular assignment. I've made sure to make a copy for each student. Over here, I can select which students get it. Right now, I don't have any students in this class, so it's all students. But if I did, I would see all of their names. So I could send this assignment to only 1 or 2 if they were modified, for example. If I'm grading it, I can say how many points I want it out of. So I can leave it at 100 for a percentage. I could make it 4, or I can say ungraded, whatever you would like in there. I can select a due date just from the calendar. So say I want this due on return by Friday, April 10th. I can put a time if I want to. And here's topic. So this depends on how you're going to organize your classroom. We have seen some teachers who have been doing distance learning already in the US who have decided to make their topics by week. So they have their topic week 1, and then they would put all their assignments for week 1 under that. So that's what I'm going to do. But you could also, like if you're an elementary teacher who teaches multiple subjects, you could make it math. You could make it English, whatever, however you want to organize it. So I'm going to call it week 1. I'm going to put the dates in. April, so what's next week? I have to look. 6th to 10th. And this is a more advanced feature that we could talk about later, or you can watch a video about from the website that we've created for you. So I'm going to leave that for now. Now I've got everything I want done in this. So I'm going to click assign or
Okay, awesome.
schedule.
Awesome.
Do you have a question? Is there a question?
Nope. I was just going to say the schedule part. Yeah, that's great.
Right. Okay. So if I selected schedule, then I could pick a date. But I can show you a different one for that. Let's take a pause for some questions maybe now.
There's none in the chat box.
Okay, so this is now the view of the classwork section of the site. And this is what the students would see too, except they wouldn't see create. They would see the assignment, which they could click on. And then once they click on it, they see all these things. They see the instructions, okay. Okay. Maybe I'll just show one with the.
I'd just like to add something, Erin.
Yeah.
So I just got the assignment because I'm Erin's student. Erin's student, yes, in that class or teacher. So I get a notification every time she posts. A suggestion with the scheduling part is you can decide to do all your assignments, right, on a weekly basis and then have them, you can pre-plan if you want and have them all assigned on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just show that right now. So let's say I did another one comparing fractions. I'm just going to do this. Maybe this time you can actually create your assignment right in here if you didn't already make it beforehand. I could click Docs. And I could create one right now. So comparing fractions, lesson 1. Put all my stuff in here. Okay. You can do it that way. Again, make a copy. But this time I want to schedule it. So I go up to the arrow and I select schedule. And I can pick, I want them to see this on Tuesday. So I select April 7th and I can leave it at 8 a.m. So this, I put schedule. This will now appear for them on Tuesday. And as you can see, oh, look, see how this is up here? It's because I forgot to give it a topic. So what I can do now then to fix that is I can go in, push the 3 dots, edit, and go down to topic and pick week 1. And then click schedule again. And then now you'll see it grayed out because it hasn't been assigned yet. It's scheduled. Okay, I'm just going to stop for any questions.
Nobody has any questions in the chat box? No.
No, okay. So I'm just going to show maybe another class here. So this is another class that we created. This is the classwork stream. And I'm just going to show you, let's see. This is, oh, it's not turned in. This is work that was assigned before. It was assigned to these students. And here, now that I've clicked on it, I can see the work that Aylin, and well, she didn't finish it. It's just for our purposes, but she was able to write on this PDF file using her iPad. Did you have anything to add to that, Aileen, about?
We'll show that after when we go to the iPad section.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I can look, if I want to grade this, I can look at what she's done. And this, I made this out of 4. So I can give her a grade out of 4. And then if I want to give her a comment, I can say whatever I'd like to say. Hopefully something a little more specific than that. Or I could say, please complete all of the assignment before you turn it in. So this is all private, only the student and teachers in the class can see either the grade or the comment. And then I would just click post. So there's the comment, she can read it. The other teacher in the class can read it. And then I click return and that sends it back to her.
The comments that the teacher gives are private between the teacher and the student, same with student to teacher. The only part where they're public is when you stream, when you post on the stream.
Yes. Okay. There's the stream for that. I could also go in through people to look at their assignments too. Oh, and so I can go and look at Lindsay's work here. I don't know if I did that too fast, but I clicked people and then I clicked on her, and now I can see her work, which has already been graded, and I already gave her a comment. And as you can see, this is grayed out. It's because I already returned it to her. And then if I go back to people again, you can see here, invite guardians option. So if I click on invite guardians, I can now invite her parent or guardian if I have an email address for them. So I would type their email address in here and then hit invite, and they would get an email invitation. But all they get is a weekly summary that shows what assignments were posted. It shows due dates, and it shows whether or not the work was turned in by their student, their child. It doesn't show them the work itself, doesn't show them the assignment itself or the student's work. In order for parents to see that, they would have to look at their kids, their child's Google Classroom account.
Christy has a good question. Is there, oh, sorry, my dog. Is there a way for students to make corrections? Then the teacher can remark it.
Yes. Yeah, and actually you can go in and look at any student's work before they're even finished. Doesn't have to be returned for you to see it. So you can go in anytime. So if I want to look at what Aileen's been doing, she's been working on this. So this one I've already returned though. So, but if it hadn't been returned, I could go in and give her feedback before she's even returned it. Does that make sense?
So Christy, I'm assuming, so she wants to know if you've made the corrections. If the student makes the corrections, then the teacher can remark it. So yes.
Yes, you can remark it, yes.
The student can, we're gonna show that in a minute in the student
view. Yeah.
Okay, so just hold on.
Yeah. This is a more advanced feature here, but you can make a comment bank. So if you had a comment bank, then you can pick from the bank, which would probably work well on essays or longer kind of written pieces. And I think that's about it now, Aileen, from this view.
Okay, so then if you want to
I'll stop sharing.
Stop sharing, I'll share.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. You guys are pretty quiet out there. Please feel free to to ask any questions as we go. Okay, so in the view, how about I'll start as a teacher. So we found that the view, and as I can't remember who it was, Angela, you had mentioned that it's more difficult to work on the iPad. So if you have a desktop computer to set up Google Classroom, it's a lot easier. This is the teacher view. So I'm a co-teacher in this webinar class. So I get, like I told you, all the same information that that Erin posts, and I can post the same as Erin. A couple things that you'll see on here, the three lines up at the top. When I press that, that explains all my classes that I am a part of as teaching or as enrolled. So if I was a student in the class, it would all be in this one area of the app. I can post on the stream here, and up here in settings is where I would change class name. I would be able to see the class code, and I'd be able to monitor the stream posting or change my settings. to the same thing that Erin had gone through. Students can post and comment. Students can only comment, or only teachers can comment and post. Okay, so that's that part. Then at the bottom, I'd hit classwork, and this is where I would make assignments. So on the iPad view, I would go to the plus sign down here, and I'd be able to do the assignment, the question, I can do a material, I can reuse a post, etc. And I can add the topic or post under a topic I've started. Okay, create a topic. If I wanted to change anything or delete a topic, I would go to those three dots. Then if I go into an assignment, this is my view for the assignment and the student work. So I have Linda's work in here. And what she's done, I can put a private comment, I can give a grade, and all the instructions that I had put together for her are in there, and she can comment back. Okay. Down here is where I have the people option. So again, to add other teachers or ECEs or EAs that are supporting you in the class, that would go there, and then students would be here. And I invite by name or by email, same way as I would on the desktop version. And that's it. Oh, that's it for that part. Now I'm going to go in as a student so you can see I'm a part of this grade 8 math class. So this is my student view. The class work that I've been assigned for week 1 is listed here. So if it's in gray, I've done it. If it's in pink, I have not finished it or completed it. So in the student view, there would be possibly, Erin would have put a description here. And then all my work is under assigned, this green font down here. So I click that and it kind of comes up. If you can see this arrow here, it's like if you can scroll down, so it's like a screen that goes up and down. And then there's the work that I need to work on. So I would press that piece of work. And in the student view, I have a pencil tool. I can also export it to another area or document if I needed to. But what's nice is they can, when they tap on their screen and then they tap on the pencil, they have options down at the bottom. So they can highlight, they can erase, they can use a marker, or they can add text. So I had used the pencil tool, okay, to write. So Christy, this is where your question will be answered. So I save my work, and it's always gray in here, even if I've filled in all my answers. So just know that that's still available to press save. It saves as a PDF. And then I click the X, and then I turn it in. So I can turn it in. If I had to add an attachment, let's say the teacher asked me to add a video or something extra, I would have attached that as well. But let's say I didn't like what I've written or I wanted to add to it, that's where I press unsubmit. And private comments might have come up from my teacher. Those would be here. So unsubmit. And I can go back in and I can modify or add to my work. Okay. And maybe I have to correct it. So I might tell my students, as a teacher, I tell my students, you choose another color for your corrections, let's say. And obviously my answer was wrong. Okay, so any questions about that, around that so far? Okay.
Aileen, for the making of the assignment with the iPad view, a little paperclip and airplane.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go back as a teacher then. Thank you. So if I go into classwork and I want to create an assignment, press the plus sign, assignment, and I'm going to type, adjust my points. So if I'm out of grading scale, I could also choose ungraded. So like everything's not going to be graded. My due date. I'm going to choose all my assignments. If I was teaching right now, personally, I would choose them all to be at the end of that week, right? I'd assign my week's work and they'd all be due at the end of that week. I put it under my topic, week 1 in this case. And then up here on the iPad view, if I hit the paperclip, I could add my documents that I had in my drive, a link I might have. So this would be my YouTube link or a video link. I could use my camera and take a picture, or I might have other files or a photo. Okay. So in my drive, I might choose something from here, and I would add that in there. Under that I view, as you can see, this is where I have to choose and make sure I choose make a copy for each student, unless I want it to be a collaborative file. So don't forget to hit that I before you assign. Then I would hit up at the top right, I would hit the paper airplane, or if I needed to schedule it, I would hit that triple dot up there. And now it's posted. Okay. Any questions around that? All of our, so there's other videos, the videos that we use to help us create this tutorial. It's all on the distance learning website through the board under asynchronous tools, and you go under Google Classroom. So as you're starting to set up your class and you might need to problem solve, you can go through there, or you can obviously Google as well. Okay.
I can show that if you, Aileen, if you want.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you want to stop sharing.
Definitely.
Share. Yeah.
And, oh,
I wonder if I can just, what happens if I push start sharing at the same time?
try it.
Oh, can't, no.
Okay. So hold on a second. I'm having a problem getting out of here. Let that stop. There we go. Okay. Now can you try?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Can you see mine?
Yes.
Now? All right. I'm just going to move this. So I had the website up here. So there's the website. The homepage is just a lot of text about the whole continuity of learning plan. But if you go up here, oops, and then just select Google Classroom, then you can see there's a roadmap here with step-by-step instructions. And then this is a table of contents. So if you wanted a printable cheat sheet, you would click on that. Oh, I don't know why it's not taking me there. It should just take you there, but I'm going to scroll down. There's instructions. So you could download one of these printables here, and then below that you'll see there are videos for all of the stuff that we did, how to create a new class. And then that's desktop, then iPad, how to create an assignment, desktop, iPad, because they're slightly different views, how to add students and guardians, etc., how to grade assignments, tips. This is the video that suggested doing it by week. And then how to give assessment, meaningful assessment, and some feedback. So all of that is there for you.
We had a question yesterday about some easy instructions for parents and students to sign up for Google Classroom. So we will send that out if anyone needs it. There is also information on the website.
I just sent the link to the website too in the chat.
Oh, good. Thanks. You guys are really, ladies and gentlemen, you're very quiet. So I think that wraps it up. Doesn't it, Erin? I think that's
Yeah. Unless anybody like wanted to stay on to troubleshoot anything or talk about anything specific, we can stay on. Or if there are more questions.
I'm going to stop recording.